Hi, my name is Anne.
I'm Tim.
We work at the International Civil Liberties Monitoring Group.
We've recently joined OpenMedia, the BCCLA, FIPA, and CIPPIC to send a letter to the federal government detailing 7 principles for protecting the rights and privacy of people in Canada throughout the fight against COVID-19.
Google and Apple have committed to tracking COVID-19 exposure through cell phone operating systems. Alberta has announced plans to use cell phone tracking to monitor quarantine compliance during COVID-19, and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau confirmed that all options are on the table.
Canada is facing an unprecedented health crisis that requires unprecedented action to flatten the curve and stop the spread of COVID-19. In their pursuit of this important goal, we are urging Canadian officials at all levels to use restraint around surveillance activities that infringe on our most fundamental freedoms, including privacy, freedom of assembly, and freedom of movement.
With all of this in mind, we're urging the Government of Canada to follow these 7 principles when considering any kind of enhanced digital surveillance or data collection.
1. Prioritize approaches which do not require any surveillance or data gathering to encourage people to stay at home. Officials should make full use of public education, financial assistance, and other options and support that will allow people to practice physical distancing and avoid infection. Surveillance-based measures should only be used as a last resort when they are shown to be necessary.
2. Ensure due process for adopting any new powers. Any new powers must be adopted through a legislative process, following transparent and open public debate. Any new measures must be temporary, with a defined end date. There must also be regular public and transparent reviews to evaluate their impact and effectiveness, and if they are still necessary.
3. Favor consent in any data sharing initiatives. Options that allow people the choice to volunteer their data in order to address the pandemic must be strongly preferred to non-voluntary data collection. Individuals must also be allowed to withdraw their data at a later date.
4. Put strict limits on data collection and retention. Data collection must be limited to what is strictly necessary for established public health considerations and proportionate. All data collected must be fully and promptly deleted as soon as it is no longer necessary to contain the pandemic.
5. Put strict limits on use and disclosure. The data must only be used for its intended purpose. All data gathered must be de-identified and anonymized. It should only be disclosed to public health bodies and not used for either law enforcement or immigration reasons or for commercial purposes.
6. Ensure oversight, transparency, and accountability. Any new rules or technology adopted during the pandemic must be transparent, have independent oversight, and provide options for recourse if there are breaches, misuse, and other violations of rights. This is crucial because many digital surveillance and analytic tools have been found to be deeply biased, particularly against marginalized groups.
7. Any COVID-19 surveillance must not fall under law enforcement, security, or intelligence agencies. The current pandemic is a public health crisis, not a matter of national security. Law enforcement, security, and intelligence agencies must not be involved in any form of public health surveillance or data collection. Moreover, the line between the data held by Canada's health agencies and its security establishments must be maintained throughout. We cannot police ourselves out of a pandemic.
To recap, we urge the Canadian government to follow these 7 principles when considering any kind of enhanced digital surveillance or data collection in order to curb the spread of COVID-19. 1. Prioritize approaches which do not require any surveillance or data gathering to encourage people to stay at home. 2. Ensure due process when adopting any new powers. 3. Favor consent in any data sharing initiatives. 4. Put strict limits on data collection and retention. 5. Put strict limits on use and disclosure. 6. Ensure oversight, transparency, and accountability. And 7. Any COVID-19 surveillance must not fall under law enforcement, security, or intelligence agencies.
If you agree with these principles, please take action at iclmg.ca/COVID-19 and share the video and the action widely.
ICLMG is a Canadian coalition of 46 national civil society groups that came together after the adoption of the Anti-Terrorism Act of 2001 to protect civil liberties from the negative impact of the so-called War on Terror. To see more videos like this one and support our work of protecting civil liberties in general, please visit iclmg.ca/donate or patreon.com/iclmg. Thank you.